Elaine, do you
Back in
remember
business.
when Ruby Todd's house caught on fire?
Yes,
Do you remember that?
that was my idea, yeah.
Millie was a little teeny baby in a bassinet, and we thought our house was going to catch on fire for sure.
I
Mom
thought,
was taking buckets of water, I think, from the spigot over there. We didn't have a fire department.
That was a house up the street that caught fire?
no, across from it,
Yeah.
used to be next to Aunt Court.
Yeah.
Oh, do we
No.
remember the one up the street?
Where, what was
There's
his name,
4 kids.
Pootie? Is that what we
And
called
Eddie
him?
Regina.
And Eddie Regina?
Oh,
And Pootie.
Mickey was-
Remember when that house burned down and that baby died inside of it?
Two others.
We looked right out of our window and watched it. Millie,
It was red-haired fellow. What's his name?
What year were you born?
Hall.
Huh? Hall.
Hall.
Mickey.
Yeah,
Was it Mickey?
because it was in February. Yeah, it was
It was
Mickey. You
February.
were
It was
up in the
Mickey.
middle of the night to feed Mickey or something. Are you?
Oh, I remember
See-
the fire up the road. That weren't. I want to be
What hall?
there.
No, it was Mickey.
it terrorized Millie. Millie was
Eddie Regina's
terrorized.
family.
Millie had problems with that for a long time.
Millie
Tommy?
did?
Yes.
I don't remember.
What?
Stanley Hall.
Stanley Hall, you betcha.
But that's not
Millie
the
did what? What did you say?
Say,
You know where
she
he's
had
living
problems
now?
with it for quite a while, I remember.
You know where he's living?
She was always terrorized because of what had happened,
Matthew,
yeah.
North Carolina.
Fire?
Well, it was kids her age that were in there.
3?
I talked with him about 2 years ago.
Have it that.
It was February 56, 57.
Had to be 57,
Remember-
'cause I was born in 56.
57.
What's some of your earliest memories? You know what mine is?
Mine?
You know,
My
yeah,
earliest
what's your earliest?
I know what my earliest one
I remember getting behind a rocking chair at Mom and Papa's house with Mama's glasses, the gold frame glasses.
Good.
And I wasn't very old, and I took them and I went just like this, and then pushed the lenses out of them. And she was after me, and Mama wouldn't let her beat me. But I wasn't very old. Was my mother? How old was I? Had Tommy been born yet?
No.
Well, you're only 3 years younger than me. I guess I remember
Mom.
that.
Do you still have the picture of me and Barbara with the tricycle?
I don't know.
Because I think that was my earliest memory over there. I
I don't
remember.
know if I have it or not.
I remember that.
John, you want to go check my pictures out? Maybe it's in there.
Look in the other drawer, that one just got screwed up.
He's already been through that one. The X-rated stuff has been put away now.
I remember that
I'll
it
put the
seemed
whole
like
mess away 'cause I didn't
Barbara
know
was
what was in it.
always riding the tricycle. She was always crying for it to be her turn. And I remembered, I thought, well, I'll let her ride, and she rode and rode and rode, and then I had to fuss to you to get Barbara off to let me get on it, and she finally let me on it, and I wasn't sitting on there. As a kid, it seemed like no time at all, and Barbara started crying again. I want to ride, I want to ride.
That's
And you
because
made me
had
get
everything
off.
and I had nothing.
You know what
But I
my,
remember that. There's another early memory I had. It was when we were still living over
Well, you
Mama's.
two is going to have a long
I got into
time
X-Lax.
with one another.
But
I got into X-Lax. And I can remember I had a skirt on and I was out in the front yard playing when it hit me. And I remember walking to the house like this.
that's your,
memory.
that's your normal walk, isn't it, Elaine?
Elaine, do you remember when Mom had the old wash tub? She'd sit in the backyard behind the garage and we'd take a bath in it?
I remember it was a sink out in the old shed.
This was a regular wash tub, a galvanized wash tub. I can remember that because I remember being out there one day and standing up in it, and Mr. Olin was standing next door watching me.
Oh, well, what I'm thinking of is over at Mama's.
So this was at home.
You always were an exhibitionist,
Mom,
Barbara.
I guess. I had
Wasn't
a
there
body
in,
then I
in
didn't
the
mind
shed
showing.
out back, wasn't there like a long sink or something
sink, yeah.
that was up high? That's where we used to get
Where?
our baths over at Mama's. Before,
But I'm talking about when we lived on Hoper's Island.
yeah.
I remember something about it.
You know what year was Hurricane Hazel?
56,
55.
55.
56, 54.
Mom says it always had
Yeah, it was 54.
54.
54.
That would have made me 6 years old.
Huh?
I remember our swing set
Floating by the window.
floating by the window between us and Mr. Olin's.
Do you
Tommy,
remember
what
the old
color
hatch
was
cover
it?
that was at the back door? that floated away and floated by?
No, I do remember one maybe earlier than that. We had a dog that I was small
Rex?
and Rex that ran off because I scared it.
He didn't run off. He
He
got
didn't
run over.
run off. Well, I
No, that's
Now wait a minute, fill me in.
Wait a minute. That's what Mom and them told us, but the dog got run over.
Well, see, I went out the back door and it frightened me, and I screamed, and it took off. It took off the opposite way.
Deep
All these years of deep guilt.
Well, you should, you should, because you scared the dog back up.
He got ran over on the road.
Do you remember Alibi? I didn't know it was his fault.
The cat.
Yeah.
Tommy,
I remember the name. I
you
don't remember much.
Alibi?
I remember.
what I just
I remember
asked
the name. I don't
Mr.
remember.
Olin used to drown every cat.
Oh, yes.
Snowball, remember Snowball? We had one called Snowball.
I remember Snowball.
He was white with black spots.
Looks like every snowball I've seen.
Called Snowballs.
Elaine, do you remember the fight that we had with the Newcombs one time? And one of them had you, Shirley had you like this around the neck, and she was smearing snowballs in your face. I took my boot off, my bare foot in the snow. Took my boot off and was hitting her on top of the head.
Isn't that also the same day that you decided it was time to get even, and you put the rocks in the middle of the snowballs?
Probably.
I remember you doing
They
that.
used to tease us bad. They used to they get us on the school bus and want to know what was left in our lunchbox and eat anything at all that was left in the lunchbox.
Mom probably doesn't remember the day I took Buzzy Willie down in the middle of the road.
I
want to hear it.
There we
I want to
go.
hear it again.
Who's Buzzy Willie?
Well, Buzzy Willie was
Oh, Buzzy Willie.
Buzzy Willie was a bully type,
He's just got the bully name, doesn't he?
and
He later cut a man's throat.
he was always giving us a bad time, all of us. He'd catch Millie on a bike and pull the bike and make her fall off and all kinds of things. And every time I wanted to go beat the living devil out of him, Mom would stop me. Well, one day I came home from work. This was just before I went into service.
Yeah.
I was out of high school for about 1.5 to 2 years 2 years before I went into service. And it was between that time and when I went into service. So he was a teenager too. And I came home, had my hip boots on. It'd been a bad day on the boat. I don't know for what reason.
Missed a big crab.
I walked right through the... No, we were crab potting.
Oh, okay. That's
Metal.
right.
I walked out on the front porch with my hip boots on, never changed clothes, anything, just to sit down. And this kid walked by, Buzzy walked by, and he called out, "Hey, you black son of a bitch."
To you!
I walked out and walked up to him just as close as I could get to him, nose to nose. I mean, literally. And I said, "What did you say?" And he said it again, because he knew he had never been threatened by me before. And before he could finish it, I uppercut him, busted his mouth, busted it.
Peacekeeper. I try to play things
Barbara,
down.
I
Pay them no mind.
I thought
Yeah, let them go. They'll fade away. They never did.
That's what I was thinking about too. Didn't Tommy learn about the birds and the bees from Buster?
Here we go. I think I'm going to shut this off.
I don't remember the story.
Well, what really started it, her and I got Buster in the corner one day, and we were telling Buster about the birds and the
You
bees.
playing
I
Dr.
don't
Nurse
remember
games?
that, Barbara.
We were explaining
Oh,
it.
certainly she would not remember that, right? Certainly she wouldn't remember that.
I know. And we had told Buster what they were used for, and then several days later, Mom finds Tommy searching all over the house, wondering what he's searching for. And when she found out, he was searching for a sanitary napkin so Buster could show him how it was used. God, we weren't very old. We were young. Look at this child. Maybe that age. Jesse, we were just little kids too.
Dude, I remember, I do remember some things down there in that house. The one memory that's really fun is like when me, you, and Pop-Pop used to sit out on the porch and watch the light come on across the street. We did it every night. That was entertainment down there.
John, do you remember the day that you packed your bag?
Yeah, I was thinking about that when he said he was in the middle of the road fighting. I was in the middle of the road going somewhere.
You were about this tall, is all you were. Wasn't he, Mother?
He wasn't even that tall. The grocery
Get
bag
Mom
was
to tell
almost as tall as
story.
he was.
Your mom tell a story.
What light was it you were? What,
I don't know. I just remember that we'd sit on that
Probably
porch.
security light at
And we'd
Bob's
all
store.
It was probably the light that came on a photo cell controlled over at Bob's store.
Yeah, security light.
And I,
John?
guess I used to think that
John,
was
come on out. I got one in my front yard.
every night I'll have to be there.
We'll all come into color and we'll all sit there.